Let's say you're not feeling your best and you're not doing what you think you should do or what you need to do. You're distracted. You're wasting time. You feel tired. Something's achy. It hurts. Your digestion's off. You keep making up all these stories. You walk around all frumpy. What do? Let me show you what you do. This is the way of the lion. So I developed this framework for athletes who may not know who Tony Robbins is. Some of the younger guys. But this is a simple system, an easy way of remembering what's important. This is the process to summon the lion. I do this all the time, especially when I feel funky. So negative feelings, negative emotions, there's nothing wrong with them. That is normal. In fact, if you don't have them, there's something wrong with you. I think they lock you up and put you in a straitjacket. So feedback, that's what it is. Feelings are feedback. If you're feeling gratitude, hey, you're doing something right. You're focused on this process in a beautiful way, or you're focused on something else. So what is it? Think of the word lion, L-I-O-N. This isn't going to take long. You're going to want to write this down though. L, love-based emotion. That is the first step. How do you summon your highest and best self? You put yourself in state. The first way you do that is the way you carry yourself. Tony would call this physiology, but this is the way you talk. Like you hear my voice right now, but if I was talking really slow and low and like this, it would not have the same effect. So the way you talk, the way you walk, like right now I'm in my training center walking back and forth, like prowling around like a lion in a cage that's about to rip it up. That's what I'm doing, because I want to be in a certain state to communicate to you so that you'll be inspired, hopefully, to use this and not just let it go in one ear and out the other. You know, it's not so much what we know or what we've heard, it's what we actually live, the things we embody. So I would highly recommend that you take this and you put it into work right now. And then before every workout, use this. If you feel funky, use this. Just say for 7 days, I'm going to use this anytime I feel a negative emotion. So love-based emotion, the way you carry yourself. First thing. The second thing is what we're focused upon. Where's our attention placed upon? Because wherever you place your attention grows. You strengthen that. You feed it. You fuel it. It expands. What you focus on gets stronger. So if you're focused on a problem, you keep telling everyone about a problem, that's your focus. It's not making it better. You got to shift that. So you got to focus on what you want. So the other part is the way you carry yourself, what you focus upon. And the third part is the stories that you tell and believe. What is the story you're telling? Are you telling a story of limitation or a story of triumph, of victory? So those are the only three things that create our emotional states. Now we say, well, no, this person did that. No. You can control these things. You can't control the environment, but you can control your thoughts, emotions, and actions. The way you carry yourself, where you place your attention, and the stories you tell and believe. So that's the first thing. Stand tall. Walk around like you got this. Breathe. Speak only words of victory. Then, the I. Identify and imagine your desired outcome and purpose. This is like a mini version of the North Star process. So what do you want and why do you want it? Why is it important? That's what you do. So like say you're feeling low energy and you got to go into a meeting, and that meeting is to resolve a conflict between two people. Maybe it's two of your kids. Maybe it's someone at work. Maybe it's two strangers that are really going at it. What do? Well, you got to come in from a place of love-based emotion to seeing them accurate. And then you want to say, hey, what do I want to get here? I want to make sure no one kills themselves, and that if they're strangers, maybe they just walk their separate ways around. If they're your kids, that there's a loving solution, right? So you want to identify and imagine it. See what that looks like. Okay, what would that be? How would we know that would be successful? So you want to know what you want and why you want it, why it's important. Then this is important, because immediately when you do that, there will be a story of limitation. And that story of limitation, the lamb will come in, the fear-based self will come in, trying to protect you. But you're not in any danger. So it's not useful. So you obliterate every story of limitation. And every story of limitation are we call them reasons, but they're excuses of why. I traveled so I couldn't train. I make every train session so you can train anywhere. I do most of my train sessions in that little hallway when you come into a hotel room. So there are no excuses in this program. It's made for you as platinum partners, super achievers. This is made specifically for you. And so there are no excuses. What is your story of limitation? Obliterate it. That's what you do. And you got to get excited about it, and it requires energy. So you got to start moving around. Put music on if you have to. You don't even need the music, but just shift your state. Make fun of it. I'm like, oh yeah, but that's really true. Just have fun with it then. Humor is a great destroyer of limitation, my friend. The last part. So you create a state of love-based emotion. Now you're resourceful. You have access to all your resources, skills, capabilities, and then you identify and imagine your desired outcome and purpose. What do you want to create here? Why is it important? What's the purpose of this? Then you obliterate every story of limitation. Have fun with it. Use humor if you can, or use movement. Maybe you have to move your body. Like sometimes I'll just go for a run. I'll just sprint down the road like a maniac. I do that too. And then the last part is now is the time. Presence is always the point of power. You see, there's past, present, and future. We want to look ahead to the future and decide what it's going to be. We want to look at the past and learn from it, and then completely detach from it, because it does not matter. It's an anchor that holds you back. Pull the lessons from it. Use those lessons and let go of everything else. Presence is always the point of power. This very moment is the only moment where you can make a difference. This is it. Now is the time. So what is the next intelligent action that you can take right now? What is it? Decide. Do this right now. And above all, write these things down. Commit it to memory. I made it an acronym so it's simple, L-I-O-N. And then utilize it. I've done this. I first did this with a baseball player who was a great baseball player, and he had a couple of years where he just wasn't good. He had a story about his hip. He got all these treatments and the pain won't go away. And we changed the story. And somehow he got better. How? Well, because we brought him back to when he felt successful. And we identified these things. Hey, what do you want to be? Do you remember a time when you were playing your best? You're like, yeah, it was in May of this year. We were playing the Mets and we did this and that. And he was in state. And then I noticed how he was moving and stuff. And then we reenacted. And then we actually named it. We named it the Lion. And so like he even got a lion tattoo after that. It was on his forearm so he could look down at his arm when he was adjusting his batting gloves. It was super cool. But this will help you so much. And if you have trouble with food, eating the right thing, you do this, but you cultivate a state of gratitude and appreciation, honoring the temple, honoring the gift of the human body. You are fueling it. You are giving it sustenance. You are giving it life. You are giving it energy. And from that state, you actually digest better. You absorb nutrients better. You feel full faster. When you eat in a stressful or fear-based state, you will eat about 40% more food, according to research. 40% more than you need, too. And it's got to go somewhere. It just doesn't disappear, as we all know, right? So take this, the way of the lion, these 4 simple steps. This is a process. You do again and again and again. And if you do this throughout the 12 weeks, it just becomes part of you. I first learned a version of this from Tony back in the day when I learned his RPM program, which is part of this. It's built into this. And that changed my life. It made me realize how important state was, because I got completely different answers when I was in different states. Like there was points I remember I just kind of be like so limited in my thing. I was just mad and kind of cranky about it. I don't know why. I just resisted myself. And that was the old phrase from Charles Hall. It says, what you resist persists. So it's the resistance we have, not the resistance outside of ourselves. The resistance outside of ourselves actually makes us stronger. The resistance inside ourselves limits us. You have everything you need within you, my friends. You were born a lion, not a lamb. Let's do this.
You tap into the real you, but you have to retrain yourself. The way you retrain yourself is you wake your ass up in the morning and you say, I am here for a reason and a purpose. And it's bigger than my moods. It's bigger than the difficulties of the day. I am here to live like a lion, not the fear of a lamb.